Namaste everyone, and in a short while from now we are about to start this lecture which is on yogic way of living in the age of artificial intelligence. And in these initial few minutes when we are about to start in our IST 5:30 and in the Kazakh time 6 p.m. So for few minutes while participants are coming in, joining in this live session, definitely we would like to take this time to feel the serenity, the purity and the sanctity of this wonderful ambience. The ambience which is charged with positivity, spirituality. While we say something in the form of words, many a times we forget to feel those words in our life. So let's start this particular session or the evening with a feeling of realization that whatsoever we speak, start feeling that particular word. Because that feeling in itself will give us a way to mindfully speak something and to mindfully feel something. This is so wonderful evening. This is so wonderful evening. We are so blessed. We are so blessed at we are joining together. Few deep breaths in, out. Gently open the eyes, look around and just see the time. It's 5:29 and at sharp 5:30 we will start. Although while we will do any sort of live session, definitely people slowly come in. But those who have already joined, I would like to welcome them. And along with that, those who are coming in and those who will join the journey in between, it's like the plane is now coming out of the area, taxiing towards the runway, and sharp at 5:30 it will start on runway and will be high in the air. And for next few minutes we will in a journey, in a sojourn with a new experiences, like kind of exchange of thoughts will take place. So dear friends, the time is now 5:30 in India and I think 6 p.m. in Kazakhstan. So before wasting any moment further, let me say namaste to you all. Namaste and welcome. Welcome to this wonderful occasion on the eve of International Day of Yoga, which is we are going to celebrate tomorrow on 21st of June 2020, which is the 6th version of International Day of Yoga. And I would like to start this particular presentation by the expression of gratitude, because when we are going to talk about yoga and yogic way of living, it starts with gratitude. Gratitude for everything. We did some exercises right now, and those were not physical exercises, those were more mental exercises. So first of all, expressing gratitude and respect. Respect, gratitude, because you always distribute to others what you do have. And when we are talking about yogic way of living, it means these particular things must be part of your life. So first of all, I would like to express my gratitude for the organization. Swami Vivekananda Cultural Center, Embassy of India, Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan. We are live on the page of Embassy of India, Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan, and various Kazakhis friends. I again welcome you all. And in this Yog Charcha, which was a series of discourse taking place from 10th of June, in an 11 lecture series. Now today is the 11th lecture. It's 20th of June, and I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Prabhat Kumar ji, Honorable Ambassador of India to Kazakhstan. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to Dr. Sanjay Garg ji, Director, Swami Vivekananda Culture Center, and a very wonderful Trilok Narayan Tarak ji, who is a very wonderful yoga practitioner whom I have watched a long time, and I'm very happy that he must be also joining. So all my regards to all these gentlemen for giving us this opportunity. And we are very happy because when we get an opportunity to exchange our thoughts, because we live in Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, which is near to the center of All World Gayatri Parivar, an organization which is spread across 70 plus nations with 5,000 centers. So time to time we have a chance to interact with global audience, but this is a unique time when from Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, if you can see in the image, that at the top we have Nur Sultan and at bottom we have Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya. So we are joining from two different parts of the globe together, and we are seated in the lap of Mother Ganges and foothills of Great Himalayas. Moving further, dear friends, first of all, United Nations passed this wonderful initiative of celebrating International Day of Yoga. A wonderful initiative when the world came together. The union took place, and that union is yoga. And yoga for harmony was always the theme. And when we see this particular Google map, I was just seeing that the distance from Haridwar to Nur Sultan, it's kind of a straight line, and the distance is about 2,422 kilometers, must be the aerial distance. But we are joining together, coming together from two different parts of the globe, and it is a wonderful thing. If you see the flag of two wonderful countries, India and Kazakhstan, like the government is taking initiatives, but along with the government, we common people are joining hands together for a wonderful initiative. When we talk about yoga, a very basic thing which we need to understand is yoga is union. In Hindi we say yoga, it is kind of union. Yuj, Sanskrit, yuj dhatu. It's always conveys the message of union. Union, like a wonderful saying is, on one side you can say that the spirit, mind and body, the union of all these three different dimensions of life. And also the practice of yoga is so much more than just a sequence of physical poses and postures. This is what we need to understand, and I think today's talk, which is on a very kind of thought-provoking topic, will definitely let you understand this. True yoga is practiced off the mat. It unifies the self, mind, emotions and body. And when we are talking about union of eyes. I as we coming together from different nationality, different language, different culture, different time zone, different cuisines. But we are together today for the purpose of what? Yoga. And from here I would like to say, dear friends, that the moment when we started this live session, we started talking about the same topic, and everything I discussed by now is the part of yogic way of living, starting with gratitude, respect, and respect for each and every person, because we count ourselves not as body, more than souls. And when we talk about souls, it's not the degree, it's not the stature, it's not the kind of seniority or juniority. We respect everyone. This is a wonderful culture which respects a child, a kid, and also our elders. We respect trees, we respect animals, we respect insects, we respect every being in the nature. Respect is our core value, and that's why we say when we are talking about yoga, we think of this. Right now, dear friends, when we are doing this Facebook Live, especially the friends from Kazakhstan, you are joining us. I can't see you directly, but you can see me virtually. And to all the friends from different parts of the world who are joining this live session also in India, dear friends, my elders, I am saying namaste to you. I can't see you, but my namaste can reach you. I can't see you, but my namaste can reach you and can transmit my feelings towards you, that I want to say namaste to you, showing my regards to you. Dear friends, this is a non-verbal communication which is happening here, but from here, with the help of this technology, I can touch your hearts. I can share my feelings and emotions. And this is all the world needs in this pandemic situation. When we are talking about this pandemic, yesterday only, and I think today also the session is going on, the global e-conclave which is taking place on the official Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya page. There, a persona I would like to discuss, the person who was instrumental and talked about yoga in UNESCO, Dr. Chinmay Pandya. When he was talking about that particular concept, he was the person who presented the team of India in UNESCO when yoga became part of intangible heritage. And he was saying that this COVID-19 situation has given us a chance to unite, because as humans, now we can understand that now it's not about globalization, borders of different differences which we have, different faiths, different sects. No, COVID-19 gave us a chance to think together, to sit together, to forget all our identities and to understand we all are humans. Whether I am sitting here in India, whether you are seated there in Kazakhstan, the distance is 2,244 kilometers, I think aerial distance, but still we are connected. And this is a golden opportunity, and yoga starts from here. When I am saying namaste, you can see the union is taking place. Physically, at least the two parts of my body, the two channels of my body, yin and yang coming together, saying namaste, namaste. And what if you say namaste and you say namaste like this? Namaste, namaste. In this COVID-19 situation, when you see there are several ways of greeting, we respect every way of greeting, but when you shake hand, the bacterial transfer rate is quite high. Even when you try to touch someone, the bacterial transfer rate is quite high. But when you say namaste, following social distance, zero bacterial transfer through our hands, and still the feeling conveyed because everyone sees each other quite well. And when you say namaste like this, it works. But what if you combine this namaste with haste haste? Say namaste, haste haste. Yogic way of living. Every moment you meet people, you greet people, say namaste, haste haste. Because I was seeing a YouTube video, you can also visit that video, it is on YouTube. Someone African talking to the people around and saying, say with me while saying namaste, because this namaste came in trend when in COVID-19 situation people stopped shaking hands, then they were saying namaste. So many global leaders were saying namaste. So this namaste concept in itself is a yogic way of living. And we are talking about it in the age of artificial intelligence, in the age of technology. And here when we see, when we join our hands, when we are saying namaste, the African gentleman was teaching everyone, divinity within me salutes divinity within you. Divinity within me salutes divinity within you. And why what? Namaste. So namaste, haste, haste. And Isha Vashimidam Sarvam. When we talk about the concept of Upanishad, when we say Isha Vashimidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat, when we see godly forces, divine forces in every being, living or non-living. So why don't, whenever we say Isha Vashimidam Sarvam, Isha Vashimidam Sarvam, dear friends, it's great that you are mugging up the concept of Isha Vashimidam Sarvam, but when you will do practical, when you will do practical, and when I am saying doing it, don't directly think of 0 to 100%. Start 0.001%. At least start greeting those who are in your office. Start greeting those who lives in your neighborhood. Start greeting your family members. Start greeting them by saying namaste, haste, haste. Because this is how your bioelectricity gets connected. When you put it onto heart chakra, this simple pose, because people are thinking of complex asanas. Complex asana. Head down, legs up, body bend, backward, forward. That's great. But that is the flexibility of your body. But what about the flexibility of mind, brain, thoughts, and especially ego? Because when you have to say namaste, you have to bow down. Practicing yoga, but not bowing down. Why? I am senior. I will order you. I am senior at home. I am senior at office. I am junior, but still I feel, no, I am something. So dear friends, this is yogic way of living. Because now you have to think that whether it will be proved in labs only, then you will start practicing it. Researchers will come out, or you can experience the happiness. Right now you can feel the bliss, which we can express by just saying namaste, haste, haste. Because this is union too. And when I say in Kazakh, Zdrastovice, or I say Slamat Sava, Zdrastovice, Slamat Sava, or Namaste, Haste, Haste. Do anything, but start greeting the people around you, because this is yoga, which is bringing people together from around, because gratitude is the best attitude and we have to understand it. Dear friends, if you see, smile challenge which I am going to give you for no reasons. You have to smile for no reasons. You have to smile for no reasons. Because you have to give a party to the brain. Your own brain you can give party by just smiling. Give party to your brain by just smiling. Do nothing. Smile. Do nothing. Smile. Because a very wonderful concept of Charles Darwin that is related to facial feedback hypothesis, and that talks about a wonderful thing that whenever, like people busy in making money, busy in creating all comforts around, and they forgot to smile. They forgot to smile. They find reasons to smile, and even when they get those reasons to smile, they again feel, no, it is not a perfect reason to smile. Oh gentlemen, you are living. breath is going and coming, heart is pumping, be happy for that because you are alive. Life in itself is a greatest celebration. Why don't you understand this, dear friends? That we have to understand the way we practice so many theoretical things, professional things in our life, the way we have to practice to smile, because facial feedback hypothesis says, and I am telling you, a very wonderful experiment which you can do. Facial feedback hypothesis says that even you are not feeling internally well, but still if you just mimic in front of a mirror or just mimic how you smile, just make your face like that, even you are not smiling, this automatically will relax the 32 plus muscles, the signal will follow through your medulla oblongata, your brain will get a party and positive hormones will flow throughout your brain, through your hormonal system, the central nervous system, sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, everything will work quite well. So first of all, we have to understand this wonderful concept that smile is an infectious disease and we have to spread it. And I want to tell you, dear friends, that whatsoever yoga we are doing, but along with that, remember, right now are you happy? Right now are you happy? If you have to find reasons to be happy, definitely you have to change the way you are doing yoga. Because we have to think that people do yoga to look smart, to look young. You are practicing it physically. Back bending, forward bending, balancing, this and that. And what about this? Dear friends, the best cosmetic which you can have on your face is a wonderful smile. I am like this, or is this? Just see a difference. People automatically look young when they smile, because young is not only age. It's a kind of feeling, happiness. And remember to be happy. Remind yourself, like set reminders on your smartphones to remind yourself to be happy. And I question you, when you smiled wonderfully last time, do you see something on the slide? Do you see something on the slide? There is a wonderful question which I am asking you. When you remember you smiled or you laughed, I am not talking about laughing right now, I am simply talking about smile. When you smiled last time, wonderfully, for no reasons, please do it. If you want to live a life aligned with yogic way. And now the question is, are you doing yoga? And why you are doing yoga if it is giving you pain? Dear friends, that pain is for betterment. But along with that, you have to do yoga of your mind too. And when we move further, we have this wonderful thing in front of you. And you can see here on your screen, both sides. And there is a topic, yogic way of living in the age of artificial intelligence. And I am Gopal Sharma. I did my PhD in artificial intelligence from Department of Computer Science at Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, Shantigunj, Haridwar, Uttarakhand. And dear friend, we are going to talk about yogic way of living in the age of artificial intelligence. And the person who is in front of you got this knowledge from my alma mater, Dev Sanskrit Vishwavidyalaya, which taught me yoga with computer science. An interdisciplinary program took place in my life, and I learned that particular thing. So we are in the age of artificial intelligence, and I will touch these things slightly because these are the things which we experience all around us. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. If you have a smartphone, whatever facilities you are using in this smartphone, in the back end, artificial intelligence is actually fueling it, is powering it. You look around in the industries, all the amenities, Internet of Things are at your home, your refrigerator, your AC, your car, your home, everything is getting automated. You have Alexa in your home, you have Siri at voice assistant with you. So all these things are AI enabled. And when you look forward, you see that artificial intelligence in V, you look at the pictures. Look at the pictures, the way people are investing time, energy and everything, and always busy with this smartphone, knowingly or unknowingly they are using artificial intelligence. None of us can say, even the people in last mile, remote areas, rural areas, to urban areas, we all are using artificial intelligence without even knowing it. It's smartphone and you, my smartphone and me. We are having an exchange of artificial intelligence and technology with each other. It's sensors around you. Do you know how more than 10 sensors are there in your smartphone? Due to them, when you turn your screen, it automatically rotates the screen. Due to this, so many other things are taking place. You have so many sensors in the door, in the refrigerator, in the car, when you move anywhere, in the CCTV, facial recognition, pattern recognition, so many things. And all gadgets around you are somehow showing you that artificial intelligence and we are somehow together. Now I come about life. So we are using artificial intelligence because I am living right now. If I am dead right now, how I will use artificial intelligence? First of all, I am alive. And now the question is, being alive is the only sign of living? And this is a fundamental question which every yoga practitioner must ask himself or herself, not to others. Right now I am doing it in front of you, but I am asking this question to myself. Because I have to ask myself, am I alive only because I am living? Or am I living only because I am alive? You see, life, since your childhood to the old age, it has an elevation, somehow standard, then down. Remember that the feeling of life to death and death to life is quite different. And it is just for a purpose. You check yourself at what level you are today and how you are living. By the time, how much time you are happy, how many times you were sad, how many times you helped others, how many times you scolded others, how many times you are happy, how many times you are angry. There are so many things which you can ask yourself. So, and tracing back the history of humans. Start. There were amenities in the past. You see the picture, a symbol. Fire. When we saw fire for the first time as Homo sapiens, when we developed, we were so happy that we got fire, we got fire. And it's not like fire from your job. I'm talking about fire that we got, then we started cooking food. You see a very small picture here. And you see here what is happening. Simple, a wheel of transformation, transportation gave us so many things. So there were no amenities, there were less technology, and question of comfort, because I don't remember that time, so I cannot say anything. But still I can say, today if you see, if you remember that day, that was the time when the question of survival was great. Question of survival was at the top. So it was the answer to this particular question, that are we living? Life and living. So that time, life and living was the priority, because there were less things around us. There were less things around us. If you see the Maslow need hierarchy model of Maslow, so basic, we were like into physiological needs, psychological needs, and then further that time also people were achieving self-actualization, but there was less things around them. And at the current time, what is the current situation? Now the question of survival is back with the technology enabled. Technology is available. Technology is all around. Comforts are all around. Now you can see, you have to go. Remember that time when they invented wheel? They wanted to go from Haridwar to Astana. How many years they would have taken? And remember the time right now? If you want to, I am not talking about right now COVID-19 situation, but a normal time when the normalcy will be there, how much time will it take from here to Astana? Or anywhere in the world? And when you are creating bullet trains, when you are creating supersonic planes, when you are creating hyperloop, what you are doing? You are working on speed. Quickly I have to reach there. Quickly I have to reach there. That was not with them. And I am not saying that they were more happy than us, but we have to question ourselves, are we happy? We are doing yoga, but are we living yogic way of life? And even if we say, I say no, I am following yogic way of living. So again you have to question yourself that whether there is something wrong with you. And when we see today, machines are becoming intelligent and humans are becoming question mark. Ask yourself, who is assisting you more? This particular device is assisting you everywhere. Sleeping, eating, drinking, thinking, traveling, doing anything. This is helping us to live. Why it is happening, I don't know. And again, using your brain at work, there was a time when people used to search for questions. They were inquisitive, they were asking people. Right now, Google. Everything Google will tell. Everything Google will tell. So the use of the brain, if I have to calculate 42 into 2, I will use the calculator in this smartphone. So intelligent, it is becoming more intelligent, because every click which you are doing on your smartphone is actually part of a large AI experiment, artificial intelligence experiment, in which the machine is learning. And humans are becoming, you have to say that human intelligence, the rate at which the kind of resources, the kind of training, the kind of everything is happening with artificial intelligence, it is like working like this. And human intelligence, yoga is the technology of enhancing human intelligence, and how much we are investing into it. Our own time, our own resources, so many things around. And now We have to see that there was a time when these machines came into our life and physical works were taken care by them, like those big machines lifting heavy things. But right now even our intelligent works are being taken care by machines. Data mining, big data analytics, machine learning algorithm, while you are shopping, while you are doing anything, everything is happening like that only. And when you see further, now I question one thing, and again I would like to say that when there is so much comfort around you, there is so many gadgets around, there is things taken care by gadgets, they are doing not your physical work. When there will be a driverless car, so you are sitting in the car, then you can meditate and you can attain samadhi. When you are traveling so fast from here and there, now the time is left, so machines are doing your job, artificial intelligence is doing your job, and you can have bliss. You can have the feeling of complete reincarnation. But it is happening. Is it happening so? We want everything fast. Internet, fast. Something we want to eat, fast delivery. In 2 minutes can you cook me this? In 2 minutes can you give me this? So these are all the concepts where we are focusing much on speed. But what we lost? This is a kind of evolution which is taking place from here to here. You can see the evolution. The image in itself is self-explanatory. Yoga is somewhere on the right, in the corner. But you see the evolution of machines, the evolution of humans. Humans are getting closer to machine. And a wonderful thing you can see in this particular corner, I think, here. You see, there is a wonderful thing, I think you can correlate something with it. Machines are getting thinner and rest, you know. I do respect everyone. And future of humanity or humans. Today we have portable mobiles. In future or right now we will have wearable augmented reality. Then there will be a chip inside our brain that will implanted augmented reality. Then re-engineered humans. Then biological computing host, and then niblated humans. So in short I can say this is how artificial intelligence is growing. Now we have to think that we have to learn from the past. Being in present, we have to help create the future. Yogic way of living is the only solution, because mindful use of technology, we are not saying go away from life, go into jungles, go into mountains. Dear friends, you will go by your own body, but what about your brain, your thoughts? They will always remind you of malls, they will always remind you of a pizza, they will always remind you of fast foods, they will always remind you of your friends, and then you went to jungle, and then you are saying, oh, now how I will get back. You be in this life, be in this world, but just practice this wonderful challenge in which I got some, like mindful evening without technology. Evening you can try this. This evening could be one evening. This is a challenge if you can try. Read, meditate, go for a walk. Be aware, I think as I am knowing that in Kazakhstan 2 days lockdown has imposed. I got to know from Trilok Bhai, so I think I am not saying you to walk outside, but when you get in India or other part of the world, if the people can, but again you follow the rules by the government, cook something, have dinner without distractions, mindful eating नहीं, mindful eating, खाना खाने दो, खाने पे ध्यान हो. दूसरी बात, एक बड़ी मजेदार बात आपको बताएं कि mindful, I think we have to understand this wonderful thing, that mindful eating is a wonderful thing. Like when your mind is full, you can do one thing: empty the trash. Empty the trash, empty the trash, empty the trash. The way you clean your room, the way you clean your table, the way you can do like this, empty the trash. This is a physical practice through which you are asking yourself to please get all these negative thoughts away. Empty the trash, empty the trash. You can have general writing time, write your diary, you can create a wonderful environment, you can talk to someone closely, you can have incense sticks all around, you can watch sun and sky, sunset and sky. You can have a wonderful spa at home. You can do nothing. This is a wonderful thing. You can do nothing. Play with your pets, evening gym session, yoga, or me time, alone time. If you even do this thing, then you can achieve a lot. Now question for you is, where you live? And where is life? Where you live? And where is life? Because here what I try to do, the questions which I received so many questions before, so I tried to put them also in the presentation. So I think here we are answering all those questions too. So like body is the only place where we live. Dear friend, this is a wonderful thing which you have to understand. If I am saying I live in a home, I live in Haridwar, I live in Uttarakhand, this is a wonderful answer which we have to give. But the fundamental fact is, this home is not Gopal Krishna Sharma. This is the boundary. The name of this boundary is being given Gopal Krishna Sharma, and Gopal Krishna Sharma live inside this. This is the place where I live. That is your place where you live. So please take care of your body, because it is said that Sharir Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Sharir Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Body is the only medium through which you attain each thing and everything in your life. Body is the only place where you live. You are practicing yoga? You are practicing yoga? Well, good. But please always take care of your body, because I will tell you a few wonderful things right now in coming slides. Because body is a natural machine driven by thoughts. Body is a natural machine driven by thoughts. If you can see that if you are seated inside a plane and the pilot doesn't want to take the plane to Almaty, he wants to take the plane to US, what you can do? The same thing, if you are seated in a car and the driver wants to take the car somewhere else and you want to go somewhere else. Dear friends, is it same happening with our own brain and the thoughts coming from here? Because this is the pilot, this is the driver, and this is the body which runs behind. So we have to understand these three fundamental things. Body is the only place where we live. Body is the only medium through which you can attain each and everything in your life. You want to attain money? That's why we always say, live. Life is the best gift. Those who even think of finishing their life, dear friend, this is something which is not expected from you. You are blessed to be born as humans. You are not animals. You have a home to live. You have so many things to be grateful for. You have so many things to be happy for. So life is important. Give importance to your life. And also, body is a natural machine driven by thoughts, and we have to take care of this machine also, the top, because this machine is driven by thoughts from here, from our brain. And now one dichotomy which I am going to present is rest of the body and the brain. Role of rest of the body and the brain. As you can see in front, the processor. Human brain, mimicking that brain, CPU, central processing unit, and further artificial intelligence. So intelligence and thought, like programs we write, we create softwares, and those softwares actually run the computer. If this phone is too costly, but still, if the program is not working, software is not working, it is of no use. It is of no use. No sir, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good. Same with the body. Body looks good. Yeah, wonderful. But the thoughts are polluted. The person is always saying negative. The person is always scolding others. The person is always spreading negativities. The person is always having the feel of ego, anger, frustration, anxiety, tension, spreading that around. No, you are not supposed to do this. Sometimes you have to cope with these situations, so it's but natural. I am not saying that completely no. But slowly and gradually you have to realize, you have to understand that the brain's role is very important. And when you look further, now you have to think that if you want to live the yogic way of living, would you like to install yoga in your body, or you want to install yoga in your brain? Now the question is, if you want to install something into this mobile, what you are doing, like this is an app and you are trying to install it like this. Oh, I am installing something, this is an app. No, this is not possible. But what you can do? You can do one thing, that you will open this and you will program it and you will install something inside. Because when you install only in body, like morning and evening you are practicing yoga asana. Morning and evening you are saying, I am doing yoga, I am doing yoga. 1 hour project only. 1 hour project only. 1 hour, half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. So like 1 hour only doing yoga, 23 hours living life like anywhere. Having fun, doing things like this, not following routine, not having any lifestyle, but I am doing yoga for 1 hour. My status is, I am a yogi and I want Kundalini Jagran. I want Nirvana. Oh, it's like something like button you will click and the Nirvana will take place. Wonderful. When you install yoga in your brain, so day in day out it will be on mind, brain and thoughts. So body's postures are external approaches. It is also necessary, important. But
inside out approach is something when we live yogic way of living. So on one side, take care of your body. That is also important. I am saying both are important. Just balance it. But don't forget to take care of your brain or your mind, your thoughts, because it is a 24-hour project. And for that I am telling you, if a person fails at this, then he ruins his life, relationships, professional space, success, and well, life become misery for them. Moving further, if you see in the next slide, now in between the presentation there is a gentle reminder for all of you. And now question from all of you, are you connected? Are you connected? Are you connected? Are you here? Or lost somewhere else? If you are live and if you are connected, you can ask yourself, are you feeling peaceful? Now you must be saying no. You are saying something, and how I can be peaceful, dear friends. This is something which we have to understand, that as a kindergarten student we start like this meditation, but when slowly and gradually you start practicing it, the bliss come from inside, the peace come from inside, and you are doing everything in your life. You see Buddhaji, the embodiment of peace. So he was meditating, he became peaceful, but for us who are living normal life, we have to remind ourselves, are you connected? Are you peaceful? Are you happy? Just smile for a while. I request you all. Remember, you want to give party to your brain? Smile for a while. You want to do something positive in life? Smile for a while. If someone is around you, just spread this smile, because infectious disease, smile is an infectious disease and we have to spread it. Don't make fun of anyone, but just spread this positive vibes of yoga. Smile all around. And namaste again. Namaste. Thank you. Namaste. So it was a gentle reminder for you. Now a very wonderful question, dear friends. Who receives your love, care and affection the most? Who receives your love, care and affections the most? Family, friends, nature, surroundings, Mother Earth, open sky, or my only love, my phone? If something happens to my phone, I become angry. I can be hungry, but I don't want my phone to be hungry. I keep on charging the phone. But I never ever think how I can charge myself. Because the time since when I came on the planet, while I am seeing, I am getting discharged. While I am listening, my energy, calories burning. While I am sleeping, my calories are burning. Even while I am doing anything, everything costs calories. And along with that calorie, what about our positive vibes, bioelectricity and so many other things? Have you ever thought that what sort of yoga we are doing? If we want to live yogic way of living, every time we have to remember how I can charge myself. Just do one thing, smile. You charge yourself. Clapping, you charge yourself. Tickling, doing anything. Jumping, being happy on a music, dancing, doing anything positive. These are the ways you can charge yourself, you can refresh yourself. But we want to live a life. I am serious. For what you are serious? I am very serious about life. Dear friends, this face only doesn't show that seriousness is there. The same with happiness also. If I am always smiling, it's great. But the practice is, right now you need not to question others. You have to ask yourself only, okay? So see a mirror, or please use the selfie camera and ask yourself, because yoga is all about asking yourself, questioning yourself. If you want to find faults in your own self, okay? If you want to appreciate, just appreciate others. This is a wonderful practice of yoga you can do. And this is a yogic way of living, because as you saw, as you listened, that 1 hour yoga through your body, but rest of the time do yoga with your brain. This is a yogic way of living. And love your phone. I am saying love your phone, love your gadgets. Gadgets are all around. Eating, drinking, sleeping, walking, talking the talking. But along with that, please remember that the phone costs only few lakhs, few million. No, even not millions. But this body, the cost of the body, hundreds and thousands of billions, the cost of the body. How much you are like taking care of this body, and how much you are taking care of this phone, gadget? Just ask yourself. And now, again, yoga is awareness towards self. And you have to again and again ask yourself, if you want to become yogi, it's not about doing the posture of yoga like this, asana. keep on asking yourself, are you connected in the now, in the present, right now? Right now, being in the present is the yogic way of living. Being in the present is the yogic way of living. Also, are you peaceful? Are you peaceful? You can not always do this. This is a practice which you try to do every day, morning, evening. But now, when even your eyes are open, you have to be peaceful from inside. Are you happy? All the time you cannot be like this. But you have to be in a state of happiness from inside. Are you grateful? Do you have respect for even your juniors, even a small kid, and for your seniors? We have to know this, only then we can say that we are living a yogic way of living. And now we have to come back to the classroom of life. I was remembering the classroom of my childhood. So we will do some activities, okay? So we have to start from the basics, because we achieved so many things in our life. Very much money, big houses, big gadget, car, everything. And we forget to smile. So please do it with me. Please follow me. Yes, you can follow me. Yeah. What you have to do, you have to say with me. E. बोलिए. E. E. Ha he. Ha he. Ha he. E. Ha he. E. This is a wonderful practice. You can repeat it at your home. Right now with your family, your friends, and with everyone. I request you, if you are living a yogic way of life, ultimately you have to be happy. If you want to be a brand ambassador of yoga, show others that you are living a happy life, a peaceful life. If you are doing yoga, still unhappy, then please prioritize your happiness first. Work on these things and say with me, SMILE. This is the password. The way you ask for Wi-Fi password to anyone else, the password of your happiness is here. Smile. Smile. And you say always, I am happy, I am blessed. I am happy, I am blessed. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Appreciate others. And recharge yourself, because there are acupressure points in your hands. When you clap, I think those who are in Kazakhstan might be, Tilokji is also a wonderful expert in acupressure. He might be telling you, while you simply clap, you positively charge yourself. Various ways you can do. You can have rain by clapping from single finger, double, 3, 4, 5. So do it. No, I will do back bending. Purna Dhanurasana. Do it. It will take time. But meanwhile, smile. Do this. This will also help. Enjoy the work you do and do the best you can. Be born again. This is a feeling. Right now you are living. Whatsoever happened before, just forget that. Focus on right now and be happy for that. And a wonderful thing which you can do with me. I remember my Chancellor, Dr. Pramod Pandya ji, who used to take the classes of Gita and Dhyan regularly in Dev Sanskrit Vishyavadhyaya. He taught us a wonderful thing. And for youngsters, we have like, you can do it like positivity in, negativity out. Positivity in, negativity out. This is a wonderful mantra of the yoga which you will do with your brain. And if you will practice these things, definitely you will be no like this. Like yogic way of living is like living agent of nature. And but when you are living against the nature, you can see on one side I have shown few species who got extincted, and on other side you can see in the diagram how a person who is living life against nature, brain, lungs, heart, liver, intestines are so much frustrated from them. So what we can do, we can find yogic way of living with nature. We can follow our own circadian rhythm, the biological clock, which is the clock which runs from our brain. There is some time for, there is a standard time of few things happening inside. Even our different organs gets activated on the basis of that biological clock, circadian rhythm. If we follow that, then we can live the life in accordance with yogic way. And here I can say, as per your profession, time and duty and place, things can vary, but still try to come into that way, because our brain is programmed. There is a time when our intestine says that we have assimilated the food, now the time for excretion, the sunrise has happened. And the difference from sunrise to excretion process actually expands the toxicity all around inside. we have to question, are we early birds or night owls? Because with gadgets, we have to be night owls, and with sun and nature, we have to be early birds. We have to start with that, with due respect. And we have to say that this natural machine is having so much patience that we are, if even getting away from the nature, still it is helping us. In the morning, if you get up, if you focus on the solar plexus, which is having connection with sun, expose yourself to sun, that is sun therapy. Have fresh oxygen inside, that is air therapy. Have lukewarm water in the morning, that is hydrotherapy. And a well begin is half done if you started your day like this. And now the question is, Ashtanga Yoga. You do Ashtanga Yoga. You have to ask yourself, you have to do Ashtanga Yoga by your body or brain. Through body you can do it for 1 hour, and with the help of brain you can do it for 24 hours. Because if you have to ask yourself, Yama, Ahimsa Satyaste Parigra Brahmacharya, will it be followed directly by body or first by brain? Niyama, Shauch, Santosh, Tap, Swadhyaya, Ishwar, Pranidhan, will it be followed by directly by your body or your brain? Asana, by your body or your brain? Pranayama, body or brain? Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. I think, dear friends, if you can understand, there are a very few things like tip of the iceberg is asana. Tip of the iceberg is all the physical practices. And whatsoever is not visible is the brain, the yogic way, which is not visible. But that is more important. And when we stop ourselves to these outer things, it works but not works that well. So at the end, I would like to tell you one very secret of life. First of all, in this age of artificial intelligence, when we are surrounded by gadgets, when even we are not using human intelligence in that way which is expected, what you can do? The first and the foremost thing, you do pranayama regularly or irregularly, but you breathe the time since when you got on the planet and the time when you will say bye-bye to this planet. So every moment we are breathing. And we are not breathing in the right way, then you can say one thing, that if in every second, in every minute we take 14 to 20 breaths, and if we are not taking in the right way, so every minute we could be committing 14 to 20 times a mistake. When someone else committed mistake, we always jump and say you are wrong. But when we are committing mistake by our own, we are saying our own self, no, it's good, go ahead. Dear friends, again we have to see ourselves. I think the yoga teachers must be telling you today, I think again I would like to repeat that, you see, if suppose this is the belly or this is lung, although we have lungs, 2 lungs, but if suppose this is lung and this is some nostril, we filled air into it. So you can see the expansion is taking place. So this lung is quite small, and when I am filling the air inside, so you can see the expansion is all around. In the same way, there are lungs inside. And when you actually fill them, because the WHO report said that we don't take deep breath, long breath. We simply taking the upper breath, kind of thoracic breathing only. Do the right way of breathing. Because pranayama you will do for 15 to 20 minutes. But the right way of breathing, if you will practice it and you keep on doing in your life, then this practice will actually give you ample oxygen inside. That oxygen will come into your blood and that will make you happy. That will make the inner metabolism, catabolism perfect. So try to take more and more oxygen inside, and whole day you can practice it. You can start with conscious breathing, and then what you can do, the posture, the wrong posture always stops you from doing this. Like if you are seated in your office for 8 hours like this, you are compressing your lungs. And that's why you are not able to breathe properly. And again, the spinal cord is not straight, so there are a lot of problems, pain related to all joints. So here you can see, even the standing posture, if it is not correct, even while you are sleeping, your posture is not correct, while lifting things, and with mobile phones or smartphones, when you are always like this, dear friends, when you are doing it like this, so what is happening? The pressure of your brain, the weight of your brain is increasing more, and it is giving rise to ergonomic problems. So we have to understand this. So at the end, I would like to say, if you are practicing yoga from your body, how you can learn these things? And it is a part of Ashtanga Yoga. It is a part of the way we see the world. Who is right? The person on this side or the person on that side? The person on this side is saying 4. He is saying 3. He is saying he is looking 6. He is saying he is looking 9. Who is right? The same happens with us in our workplace, in our family, with our friends. We have to look at it. And at the end, I would like to say yoga is about awareness 24/7. And I want to tell you one thing, that whenever we feel sick, at that time we become very much aware. And we promise ourselves that if I will be healthy, I will do this, I will do that. But again, when we become healthy, we forget all these things. We forget that we have not only to take care of physical, but mental, emotional, spiritual, environmental, and social health also. We have to look at all these well-being dimensions: emotional, physical, social, occupational, financial, environmental, spiritual, and intellectual. And we have to remember that all these things we can do only we have the body as a medium. We have to take care of our body. And at the end, a wonderful formula which I learned from Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya ji, a great prophet, scholar, and philosopher of the era. He gave a wonderful concept: life of a day. Every day, when the day starts, say that it is a new life, a new birth, a new opportunity for me. And when the night comes, say I am preparing for death. Like, it's not like, it's kind of practicing. Why we are saying at the end, if today I fought with anyone, tomorrow I will not remember with that. If today I had said bad word with anyone, I will say sorry before I go to bed. And in between you have to remember to be happy, to be peaceful, to be blissful. So at the end, dear friends, I would like to say that inhale, exhale, positivity in, negativity out. And I think in this way I would like to wind up this Yoga Charcha, the discourse on yoga. I tried to address so many questions which came to me, but right now also there are a few questions which are pinging in. So I will try to pick few of them because the time limitation is there and I have to take care of that also. So I would like to take few questions. Miss Madina from Nur Sultan is asking, how important is yoga in modern life? Yoga is actually important for humanity. So whether the life is modern or whether life is ancient, if life is there, yoga is important. Thank you, Marina, for your wonderful question. Miss SL from ask, how will there be harmony between yoga and modern life? Dear SL, as I shared with you, if you follow this particular thing, don't only think that yoga is simply asanas. And if you remember this particular diagram, I think this only is wonderful solution. This will primarily bring a harmony in life. Along with that, do one thing. Follow a wonderful principle like ahar, vihar, vyavhar, vichar. What you eat, focus on that. Food is fuel. As you not put petrol inside a diesel car, in the same way just take care of what food you are intaking. Vihar means your routine, your lifestyle. Vyavhar means your behavior, your social conduct, or the yam and niyamas. And vichar, your thought. Food for soul. Read noble literature. And always practice to be happy for no reasons. If you even have no reasons, be happy. That is the way you can bring harmony inside. And it is actually when your physical dimension, mental dimensions, social dimension, spiritual dimension, if they are all not aligned together, there is problem, disharmony. But if you want to bring harmony in, follow the circadian rhythm, the biological clock, stay tuned with sun and the nature, you will have fun. In Kazakhstan, I know that the time of sunrise and sunset is different, so you can customize according to that. Mr. Mirkhat from Nur Sultan is asking a question: what is artificial intelligence and its importance in life, and how do we include it in our routine? Dear friend, I think to answer to this question, I explained in the beginning that even you don't include it into your routine, it has become part of your life. And if you talk about artificial intelligence, then we can say that it is kind of an intelligence mimicking the functionality of human intelligence into machines, like that planning, reasoning, decision making, all these things which we do through our own self, the machine is mimicking it. Another question from Miss Adena from Nur Sultan asking, yoga is called the science of journey of the inner world, but where does one get enough time to take advantage of yoga in life? Where does one get enough time to take advantage of yoga in life? Dear Adina ji, I think you must have got the answer in this presentation itself, because in your inner world, only you can enter. Although there is one thing that if some message come from WhatsApp, Facebook or anything ping here, we when allow that message to enter inside, only then it enters inside. Otherwise, it's up to us. And along with that, life is time and time is life. And if you start living yoga 24/7 through our brain, through your thoughts, through everything, so definitely you have ample time. And I think you can practice this concept, life of a day. So when you will have this target that by this time, today I will live. So you will start living it in a wonderful way. You will make it an event of your life. And one more question, Mr. Farkhod from Nur Sultan, he is asking that yoga is the divine path, but how can we achieve yoga in such a stressful competitive life today? Dear friend, it's like if you want to see something, there are problems, and there will be problems forever in the world. No one can give you stress until and unless you allow the stress to get in. If you will follow the right routine, right way of eating, right way of thinking, and again I am saying, dear friends, be optimistic. You are doing it. That's why you are asking this question. So wherever you are, just follow the concept of delta or kaizen, a positive change, a small positive change. So start thinking positivity in, negativity out, and along with that, stress is there, it is part of life, but convert it into eustress, a positive stress. Distress is negative stress because it is having physiological, psychological, negative impacts from inside, dear friends. Last thing, I think I would like to take one or two more questions, but for this I would like to tell you, if a single negative emotion you generate from inside for any reason, that negative emotion impacts others afterwards. First of all, it impacts your own blood pressure, your own respiratory rate, your own brain waves, your own pulse rate, your own bioelectricity, your own blood substance, your own quality of blood and hormones. So the negativity, the toxicity starts from inside. So then you cope up by shouting at others or doing anything with us. Be in the state of equanimity. Yoga karma sukashlam, samattam yog uchyate. Be happy with that. And we have received, I think, few more questions. So I will take, I think in next few minutes, I will take one or two from them. Yeah. As you see, this is the beauty of the technology and artificial intelligence, that things are coming. We have a question from India, Risha Agrawal. Up to what extent artificial intelligence can be used in our day-to-day life? Dear friends, if you are using a smartphone, please don't start your day by seeing a smartphone, and please don't do the last thing of seeing a smartphone while you go to bed. If you start from here itself, I think this is a great challenge for you. The way you have several other challenges on social media, just think of this only, that when I will get up, I will have me time first, I will see sun first, I will see nature first, then I will see my smartphone. This is the way you can manage artificial intelligence, because there are certain other things, but in short I can answer you like this. Is our Arya Sharma, is our dependency increasing on artificial intelligence? Yes. Too much dependent we are on artificial intelligence, even without realizing. Now a question from Maharashtra, Shiva Ghorpade. Difference between artificial intelligence and artificial consciousness. I think Shiva Ghorpade is someone from the field of computer science, psychology, or neurosciences. I think it's kind of situation that consciousness is the beauty of humans or machines. No, humans are blessed to have consciousness. Nature, animal, plant, bird, all around are blessed to have consciousness. So I think with this, artificial intelligence is kind of mimicking intelligence into machines. In the same way, when scientists are trying to mimic some features of consciousness into machines, they are saying that is artificial consciousness. So at the end, I would like to say, we can chant Shanti Path all together, because ultimately this Sanskrit syllables are very much powerful, and the power of sound can be realized in it. And before that, I would like to say again, Namaste, say Namaste, Haste Haste. I am again expressing my gratitude to Mr. Prabhat Kumar ji, Honorable Ambassador, Dr. Sanjay Garg ji, Director, Swami Vivekanand Culture Center, respected Trilok Narayan Tarak ji, who is an yoga instructor and a member representing India there in Embassy of India at Nur Sultan, Kazakhstan. And I would like to say, dear friends, that it was really a wonderful journey, and I was fortunate to listen to all those speakers who were speaking on this particular Yoga Charsha from day one. and I simply want to express my gratitude towards them also. Each one of them had given a new insight towards life, and I think you must have got those benefits too. So at the end, I would like to say Drastaveche, Salamat Sava, and I would like to say whenever you get time in your life, come to India, visit us at Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya. We are at the foothills of Great Himalayas in the lap of Mother Ganges, and you can visit us on www.dsv.ac.in, because this is how we can have union, connection together. So I would like to say, let's chant Shanti Path, and with that we will end this session. Shanti Path for world peace. World is passing through a great turmoil, and as we are marking 11th lecture in the series of this Yog Charcha, I would end it up with a positive hope towards humanity. Each one of you who have joined this session, left this session wherever in the world, for world peace, not only for humanity, not only for humans, but for all creatures of the planet. Shanti Path. Om Dev Shanti Antarikshagvam Shanti Prithvi Shanti Rapah Shanti Ro Shadayah Shanti Vanaspatayah Shantir Vishwe Deva Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvagvam Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi. Om Shanti 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 Sarvarista Shushantir Bhavatu. Thank you everyone. Namaskar.